mpenzi mtazamaji. Karibu tuweze kujuzana, kuelezana mengi tukikuburudisha na tukikuelimisha hapa ndani ya kipindi bomba kabisa uweponi mwake. Na tumetoka tukiwa wawili na tukarejea tukiwa watatu. Welcome so much, sir.
Thank you.
We are so much glad that you are here. Kabla tumkaribishe vizuri, whatever you're watching us from, weka hapo ujumbe, tuambie unatazama ukiwa wapi, ndapo una swali lolote kwake mgeni wetu siku ya leo, ndapo una salamu ungependa kutumia mtu, weka hapo ujumbe, tuambie unatazama ukiwa wapi, nasi tutakuwa tunapitia ujumbe wako mpenzi mtazamaji. Tracy, tafadhali karibisha mgeni. Ensure he's comfortable.
Ningekuwa chama chai ningeweka hapa. So as Quinto has said, we are very much honored to have you here. We have an author, the book in it
Rescued. Yeah, it is called Rescued.
So can you kindly tell us something, a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's Tracy.
Yeah.
And there's a debate about your name. Is it Quinto or Quinto?
You see, being in Kenya, people call me Quinto, but when I'm outside the country, they say Quinto. Okay. So inabidi tu when I'm in Kenya, I just say Quinto, but when I step outside the country, I'm Quinto.
Yeah. So okay, because I believe your show is global.
Yeah.
Let's pick Quinto.
Exactly.
So
you can do Quinto. Yeah.
Thank you, Quinto, for having me. I'm so happy that we are here.
Yeah.
And my name is Emmanuel Nakola.
Yeah.
And I went to Mount Kenya University, did community health, and completed my first part, 2023. And I'm happy that it's a privilege even to get a space where we can be able to address some of the issues that are affecting the young people.
Exactly.
And I am passionate about the young people because of the challenges I got to experience in my teenagehood, and I got to overcome.
Yeah.
And, now I'm an advocate of, by the way, inawezekana. Yeah.
Wow.
So
so by the way, inawezekana, is it an organization?
Well, it's not an organization, just some kind of slogan to bring people around me so that they can be able to experience the kind of freedom which I am experiencing right now, because many people have been pushed, especially young people have been pushed into some corner, thinking that whatever man, it's not worth it even.
Yeah. Emmanuel Nakola, kabla sasa we go deeper into it, Emmanuel Nakola ametoka wapi, amesomea wapi?
So as I said, I've been a student at Mount Kenya University, but my home place is Narok. I'm a Maasai, and I am proud of that.
Wow.
You're
sober.
Yeah. The pronunciation, the way you're putting it, inaonesha tu ni Mluya.
No, but I'm saying sober. It is sober.
It is S-U, and then you lighten the P.
Yes, sober.
Sober.
Yeah, you don't really have to.
Okay.
Uhitaji accent ya Kiluya when you are saying Salome ya Kimasai. I'm sorry about that.
It is well.
So Nakola.
Yes.
Nakola. Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your journey until you actually wrote your first book.
Yeah.
So the two books came almost the same time, but I have been heavy because the other one is a study guide. I've been heavy on Rescued because it's my personal experiences as a young person. I grew up in a family. My mom is a Christian, but I didn't like this religion thing. I used to be like, man, that religious crap, to many people is boring. I'm just have to be honest on that.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you possibly just have these do's and don'ts on your shoulders, and you're already battling, guilt of sin? So me kept off. I was like, I'm not gonna follow anything about it, and got into some very interesting experiences. Got into drugs. I got to have a very weird circle of friends, and I didn't have really some kind of direction. I used to binge social media, like literally. By the time I was making a resolution not to to be affected or to have my life consumed and robbed by social media, TikTok was not there yet. It was 2020. Actually, TikTok came with COVID, but I was already making a resolve that I won't die with this thing. And because I was affected by Instagram Reels, I mean, I could buy data 24 hours and miss classes and even sometimes cut. Quinto, there was a day I was, watching Instagram reels and I slept 3 a.m. And there was a cut somewhere
following
8.
day.
Yes, and I overslept, missed the cut, and I was up everywhere trying to follow up on this, lecturer. Thank God, I was given another cut, and so those are the few things that really happened in my life and got into very intense habits. And this issue on relationships where everybody, like I have done a bit of research, 75% of the young people are missing matters relationships. So you can imagine the whole population, they're not getting it right. I was part of that, and something happened on the 19th of 2019, December. I was coming to school to clear up for my first attachment, and then I had a roommate, a city guy. Now for me, I'm just from a village, so I had to really learn a few things to maneuver the street, and we were just in some place called Runda, and we were smoking. We were like hitting blunt. That is the language they understand. So something happened. I got a supernatural experience.
That is in 2019.
2019, the 19th of December, only 1 week to 2020. And we were just seated, and something started happening. When you become high, when you are high, you don't even know when. I'm used to being high, but unfortunately, it was not the normal high. The most high I'm in gear.
So you are more higher.
Well,
Very highest.
So actually, kidogo nikuwe the highest. But something like I was trying to collect myself, and I was like, hey, hold on. I'm used to being high, but this is not the normal high. And after a short time, I got convicted of how I've lived my life. I screwed it up. A conviction became so heavy. And
Maybe how was it that supernatural, like how ilikuwa aje the experience?
Well, as a student you live in a bed sitter. So mimi nilikuwa nimekaa karibu na the bed, and my roommate, the following day, he had dreadlocks, very nice dreadlocks, and the following day he was supposed to go home, but this guy comes from Bungoma, so he doesn't want to see, his dad to see him with dreadlocks. Normally he used to come to Thika, and then he wears the dreadlocks. When he goes home, anabomoa. So that was the day sasa alikuwa anabomoa, because the following day he'll go home. He doesn't want his dad to see that. So he didn't know what was happening around me, and nilifikiria nimechizi. I remember nikimwambia, bro, unajua ni aje tumechizi, but now he's not feeling what I'm feeling. And it became more interesting because I ran to the kitchen, nikachota maji from the tap, and I was carrying it around the house, and because I was overwhelmed by a lot of things, addictions I had that time, and I just felt like it's not worth it anymore. So I just wanted to go out and do some harm to myself. But when I was walking outside, akaniambia, now the school, the university was closed. It was 19. That time by 16 the exams are over. So akaniambia, bro, unajua watu wanakidnapiwa huko nje. And I was like, okay. Remember, this is someone who wants to go and harm himself. I don't know what was coming, but it looks like it was very massively suicidal. So I went and kaingia ndani ya duvet, and I was like, I'm not going to go outside anyway. And inside that duvet, that's where I didn't know it was God. He convicted me of how I've lived my past life. It was terrible. Every bit of what I've done, ugly stuff I've done, they just came out plain. And I hated it. There are some of things I never even thought they were wrong. And I remember crying. I cried. I've written this in the book, so I'm not worried to talk about. Yeah, because how many people have read the book? Several people. So, and putting it public to me usually is an opportunity to tell the young people that really it's not religion really, it is a relationship between us and God through Christ. So I got convicted, I repented, called my dad, asked for forgiveness, because I actually robbed a lot of money from them. Yeah, I told them there were some charges that were needed. Actually the charges were there, 5,500 for my graduation. And I told them it's 17,000, so I got out with 12,000. So we bought a lot of furniture. When you're a student, you really want to have 5-star outlook, especially in many part of the student life you are broke.
Oh.
So at least you must have something backing you up. And for me and my roommate, it was our room. We would really, you know, put it in some 5-star level. And we bought a few things. Unfortunately, zilibiwa time ya COVID. We went home. The lockdown happened. We came back. We couldn't find anything. No couch, no bed, no nothing. And I think it was also a lesson for me to understand that all that this life is about is not all these, you know, material stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started like tracing the spiritual path. I hated religion. I still hate it. I don't like it because of the corner it pushes to people. And I found somebody who like helped me to understand. He told me the crude gospel away from religion. I was like, okay, so it's relational. It's not like do this, don't do this, because already it's tiresome. So I accepted Jesus as my friend and not some kind of gruesome dictator. And from then on, things started unfolding. So after experiencing liberty and freedom and some kind of unimaginable peace with my relationship with God, I said, why not use my experiences to, you know, bring young people on board. And then I started writing blogs and kwanza, you know, social media addiction. I remember writing a blog on your life, your smartphone, and your computer.
Yeah.
And it was read globally. I think I went to check the statistics and I was wondering, I mean, this thing is being read globally. And you know, getting the feedbacks, you feel like, oh, people actually can get impacted from you know, some kind of ex-troubled young person.
Yeah.
So one day during lunch hour, when I was in campus, we had lunch hour sessions where we just go and fellowship.
Yeah.
And
before getting there, someone may be interested to know now what happened from this 19th of December now to getting your transformation, being now transformed, living that life to now a transformed life. How was it? How was the transition?
The transition was hard, terrible. I had to break up with my girlfriend. I just texted. Well, I don't know. I never knew I was a writer, but I made a very long text. I'm not sure if she read. Of course, she read because I mean, she wouldn't. I mean, there's no way she could avoid it. And I was like, I really want to recollect my life. I want to put my things in order. I want to bring my mind again together. And broke up with my girlfriend. I now don't want to, like, you know, aimlessly scroll through Instagram. I had to delete my accounts. It sounded so boring, but I think it's also God working on me.
Yeah.
It was maybe something greater. It was costly, and I had to cut off my, you know, parting friends. I literally had to pay the cost, and it was not easy. There was one of, okay, I included the names in the book, but we changed the names because of, you know, respect, and also we didn't go around collecting consent. So after that, actually I remember I was still around the campus, and then I met this friend of mine. We used to go to party together, and he told me, he didn't know that I'm a new person. So he told me, bro, form ni aje. And it was on Friday.
Oh, that was in 2020?
2020. 2021. 2020 was a part of it, bigger part of it was lockdown. Came back September. So the beginning of 2021.
So during the lockdown, that was in early 2020?
Yes.
So during the lockdown, were you already transformed or you already
No, it was the journey. It's only 1 week I encountered, you know, the supernatural experience. Only 1 week to 2020. So what happened when the lockdown came out? I now hated using my, you know, aimlessly using my phone. So I shelved my phone. And then I picked the small Gideon Bible. And I read the entire thing. I consumed the entire Testament. I was, you know, things I was experiencing in there. I used to think it is just some religious book. I see my mom carrying it around. But I never really thought it was God giving himself to us. So because my community were pastoralists, I would go look after and leave my phone at home, and I will have all this massive time around the clock, you know, with my small Bible. And I think that's where some truths started coming in, and I was like, wow, I mean, you can really be sober in this life, you know. And after that, I went back after 6 months for my phone. No interest for Instagram, no interest for any kind of. So I wanted to be productive. because I wanted to make some change.
So
Also.
you went offline
Yeah, I went offline
for 6 months.
for 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then read the Bible. You know, just trying to recollect myself because I was damaged. I had several wounds in my heart, and I just had to put myself together. It was hard because you know my friends were like, I'm becoming weird, and I didn't care. I mean, I was just like, well, I get it because you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I have seen that night, and I stopped drugs. I think literally the issue of drugs. I got into drugs when I was high school because it sounded cool. I mean, you say, "Okunyui, are you okay?" You know. So I literally stopped. Now you know when you stop something, usually you attract who you are like.
Yeah.
I think the Bible even says that two cannot walk unless they agree.
Yeah.
So we had a baseline with my mbogi, and that was, you know, partying and girls. So now that I'm not of that lifestyle anymore, I had to like just keep off from them. It was boring. No friends, no social media, no nothing. So I started developing other habits, several habits, like reading, you know, designing, a few other things like you know, public speaking.
Yeah.
Several skills that came after. And then came back to school. Somebody challenged me to join the Christian Union. I joined the Christian Union, became even a leader in there.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I mean, the process of transformation. So it is some kind of massive thing. When I look back, I'm like, wow. I mean, this is extraordinary.
So after now getting back now after the lockdown 2020, sasa ni lini ulianza sasa mambo na kuandika, because the first book Seek It Out.
So somebody, you know, I was in a process of building skills. I didn't know I would write, but I like scribbling a few words.
Yeah.
And then I was like, why would I not do some blogs? I started writing blogs, some kind of articles, and then one blog, to be specific, really gave me some inspiration because it was massively read. It was everywhere. So we were in a lunch hour session with other students, and then
That is in 2020.
2022. 2022. 2021, I was just trying to maneuver a lot of, you know, trying to get off, you know, the baggages that came with my past life. So 2022, somebody read the blog, one of the students. Of course, many students, because they were being shared in the groups and everything. So one of the guys came and he told me, I read that blog and I like it. I was like, praise God. I didn't see that coming. And then I went to check the statistics. The blog was being read everywhere. So the gentleman told me, why would you not write a book? I was like, well, I'm not really thought about books, bado, because I was thinking there's some process of building up until you're writing a book. So I went back to my closet and I was thinking about the book. And I think the process of discipleship also helped me to shape my doctrinal values, my biblical values, and I wanted to also show people that this religion thing, by the it's boring, but there's a better way for this. You can actually be a Christian without being religious. So we went to a writing retreat. We wrote with a few friends. We wrote Seek It Out, and then we took people through the journey of, because it's a study guide. In that process, I got an inspiration to write Rescued, which is here now.
Yeah.
And it was some kind of mass, because I had classes, I had, you know, my exams, I had my, you know, career to chase and everything.
Rescue is here.
Yeah,
Rescued. It goes at how much?
650.
So maybe just briefly, nimeona umeandika the teens and the youth journey to freedom and purpose. So briefly, what is contained in this book?
Well, this book is divided into three parts. Number one part is my own journey and experiences, dramatic experiences with drugs, with bad friends, with social media, with entertainment. And the second part of it is my turnaround from, you know, chaotic experiences that led me to not to be sober. And then the last part is mentorship and, you know, kind of holistic discipleship on how you can maneuver the challenges of the age, because we have challenges different from our parents, but there's a way we can maneuver through them. And also your spiritual journey, growth, you have to really connect with God in the entire thing. So it gives some kind of practical steps on how to, you know, even read your Bible, you know, pray, fellowship with sound people, and then grow holistically. There is that part on, you know, building skills and everything. Yeah, so that at least you have all this life being holistic growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Tracy?
So perhaps maybe you want to come up with another book, maybe have plans?
Well, I think there's a principle on declaring your work when it's out. Most of the time we want to rush because of the excitement that comes with achievements. You just want to rush to declare that, guys, there's a book that's coming. But yes, I have a project that I'm working on right now. With them, and right now I have a lot of friends who are helping me through the journey of impact and everything. And so we are going through a process where we want to bring some kind of interesting, creative, book that can be read by young people, and then they understand life better without having these theories, and nobody likes these complicated kind of philosophies. So it's now helping me to being more creative. Yeah, so we have a project that we are working on.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. So asante sana Bwana Nakola for making time to be with us today on Weponi Mwake Show. So as we end up this segment, maybe just a word to kuna vijana hapa nje wana struggle na si uongo. Like yesterday the other day on today is when on Saturday. On Saturday evening, Sunday or Saturday evening, nilienda kwa duka mahali. Then there was this young boy. Kijana mdogo sana, anachoma, anavuta, then I was like anakula jaba, anavuta sigara zote, and kijana hata akai mkubwa. It's just a young people. So sometimes nina feel vibaya sana nikiona. So I'm like, so akiwa hivi sasa, who is there for tomorrow? So maybe just a word to kijana anapitia issues mingi. Hata kuna mwingine angependa kuacha but ame find it difficult. So just in a few words, maybe like in a minute, just a word to the young people. Nakona.
So vijana, these challenges are there. They have come, we found them, or at least they found us. Sometimes even unawares. You're just getting into some kind of thing and you don't know how to get out of it. But this is my word for you guys. It's possible. I think we are saying vijana by the way, inawezekana. It is possible to have a sober mind. Yeah. It's possible to, but you don't approach this and religiously just doing massive things. You have to really have a relationship with God so that He can be able to sober you up. And you don't approach this, in a passive way. You have to be active in the whole process of, faith. You have to really believe in what Jesus did on the cross. You have to, put it into practice. Like, my goodness, because people say, when will this thing live? It will end lini, by the way. But you realize that things were not supposed to live. Things were supposed to grow naturally. Things were not, they just have, so whether it's a habit, whether it's a struggle, whether some kind of, ugly stuff, it's possible to, be washed again and be clean, and then walk through a journey of growth, massive growth, and then you'll be able to see massive opportunities that comes with, your faith in Jesus Christ. So there's a lot of things to talk about the same, but that's what I would say. You have another chance to be a better person. You won't die with Jesus. I think the only place you will die is outside Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So kuna rafiki wamekusaidia. Maybe you can just mention them, wale rafiki ambao wamekusaidia kuandika kitabu ambao wamekuwa na wewe as tunakiingia break. Just you can mention them.
I have friends. I have my Burundian friends Nancy and Shami and Stefan. I have my Kenyan friends and Elizabeth, Shem. I have my mentors, Judah and Shadrach. Yeah. And of course my parents have really been helping me in my growth.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. Akisema Burundi, I remember there is a time nilikuwa na show na Burundian kwa kanifunza Kiburundi na nikaongea. Lakini sijui Kiburundi iliendea wapi. I remember aliniambia anyway. Let's end the break. So thank you so much Nakola.
Thank you
for making time leo kuwa ndani ya show. Tunashukuru sana.
I'm also happy.
And may you keep empowering more and more youth. So if you want the book at only 650, unaweza acha hapo ujumbe. Vile vile wapataje kitabu? Huje tuambia.
So the book is being sold around 2 campuses so far, JKUAT and MKU. So you can reach, and I think there is a number, maybe you can even use my number 0718581870 18 581870.
So that is your number, wakikupigia watakupata.
Sure.
So thank you so much sir. Tunashukuru sana.
Thank you again.
Yeah, we wish you all the best in your project, the
Alright.
coming project.
Thank you so much. I also appreciate.
Asante.